Salutations and good day. We're back out here in the Malheur National Forest. It's my last opportunity to scout before my elk season starts. So I'm retrieving my game cam. We're gonna pull this one for the winter here soon. There's gonna be feet of snow out here. And I don't know if this equipment can handle that, or if it'll just wear out the batteries taking infrared pictures of the snowbank. So I'm just gonna pull it. We'll probably move it out to Bully Creek for the winter and see what we can see out there. But yeah, we got antlerless elk season starts here in like 2 days, and I plan on coming back out here Sunday night, Monday morning. We'll see. I have to work this weekend, so I'll come out and get in a few days, get back to work for a few days, come back out for the last 2 days of season, and with any luck I can get a calf elk. I know some of you don't agree with that, but they're soft meat, they're milk fat, and they're easy to carry, so I'm not trying to lug 400 or 500 pounds out of these woods on my own. I can just toss a little shit on my back and pack it out like a heavy ruck, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, hopefully we got some good footage on this time. I don't know, I'll have to put together a compilation of all the different things we've caught on our cameras this year. There's been quite a bit, so we'll see. Thanks for coming along. We'll loop back around to Luther Butte and then hike the road back to camp. And it should be a decent day of hunting on Monday. So, I don't know, here's to hoping. But let's switch out this battery on the game cam, retrieve the SD card, see what it is we can see. And I think I'm gonna take a stroll up the draw today, see if I can't find a grouse. I have had very little luck with bird hunting this year, so hopefully I'll be able to get something. It'll be hard to convince the family to spend the money on tags if I don't come home with anything. So it's already been a pretty productive day for spotting game anyway. Seen a big fat tom, like a massive tom. I've not seen turkey around here that was that big. It was pretty big. And we saw a ruffled grouse just standing in the road. Almost ran it over with my car. It was I don't know, I'm not sure what it was doing, but it wasn't paying attention. I didn't get it, but it's all good. But we're gonna come up here to Morgan's Hole and change out the batteries on this game cam. It's pretty impressive. These batteries have lasted like all year long. I put it out here in February or March, and it is just now giving me the dead battery signal, which is pretty amazing. But yeah, I think this is where I'm gonna stand for my elk season. There's been a lot of movement through here. Not a lot of elk, but still a lot of animals. And the snows should start this weekend, I think. And so I'm hoping that that pushes them down a little bit lower towards where I am. And that's gonna be my stand, little debris pile. It's not much to look at, but it's decent cover. And it's gonna be cold this weekend, so I'll probably be wearing my kilt. I'll have to make a little video, show you guys how I put that on. But this guy's got some room, you know, a decent amount of space in here. And it gives me some pretty good coverage. I should be able to get a nice Should be able to get a nice concealed shot from this spot. And somebody stole my round, so I'm gonna have to find another chair. But I imagine I'll get out here around 5 in the morning and sit until a little after daylight, and then hike my happy up this draw and summit Mount Rostus, and then loop back around to Luther Butte. And some of you might be scratching your heads. Did he say a kilt? Hell yeah, absolutely a kilt. It's a 12-foot long blanket. Wrap yourself up in it, wear it like a hoodie, wear it like a skirt, use it for a bag, use it for a cot, use it for a shelter. It's a hugely useful tool if you know how to use it right. And, you know, people don't often realize, but Edinburgh, Scotland is at the same latitude as Juneau, Alaska. So it gets a little cold up there. They're pretty effective at keeping you warm. It's a pretty impressive piece of equipment that's hugely underrated and rarely utilized. But if you go check out Fan Dabby Dozy, I think I said that right. He has a lot of videos on just how to use the Great Plaid in survival, how to apply it in the modern world combined with modern equipment to make a really good loadout for anything you want to do. And like I said, it's kind of like a 10-in-1 tool. It's not just a skirt. I don't know if you can hear that. There's some real pissed off squirrels up here. I'm wondering if there's something moving downhill towards them, or if they're just fighting with each other, because squirrels are kind of weird. They do all sorts of odd shit. But we're gonna make our way up this way and try to pop out up here at Bathtub Springs. See if we can find any good sign, find any elk tracks or anything. But yeah. Should be interesting. It's like, I don't know, low 40s out here, kind of foggy, kind of misty. It's been a bit of a dreary day. That's all right. It's the middle of November. I guess I'm lucky it's not all covered in snow. Yeah, this little guy's real pissed off about something. Oh, now he knows I'm here. I wonder what it is. Can't really see through this undergrowth. It's pretty thick. But yeah, these pine squirrels are something else. They'll rat you out in a heartbeat. So many times I've been on a good elk stand, getting good movement, things coming in. These little shits will start barking and squealing and throwing pine cones or whatever down at me. And I don't know. It's just about the one thing out here that I won't eat. I was always told not to eat them. They cannibalize their dead, and it's kind of questionable whether you should consume their meat or not. But this little guy's gone completely silent, which either means he realizes I'm here and he shut the hell up, or whatever he was barking at got too close, so he did the same. There's some real dense small trees in here. It's hard to see through. There could be anything down there. Just can't see it. And I know there's a fat bear that's been coming through here. Caught a couple images of her on game cam. I think it's a sow, but it could be that he was barking at her. She might be a little too big for my taste. I'm doing this mostly solo, so I'm trying to restrict myself to things that I can actually carry. And you know, a big fat bear is not an easy thing to drag out of the woods. I don't know. Back 20 years ago or something, I harvested a bear down in Southern Oregon, and it was huge. It was like well over 6 feet, 500 plus pounds. Once we got it gutted and skinned, we threw it on the scales, and the scales maxed out at 500 pounds. And it was pulling down on, like, it was maxed out. So I don't know. When we did that, my buddy Dakota and I were hunting together with our guru Flint, and it took everything we had just to lift the damn head up to get a chain around its neck. So I'm not going to try and take some massive trophy if I'm out here by myself. You know, you gotta be responsible. Don't kill things you can't process. Don't kill things you're not gonna eat. You know, be ethical, be responsible, be moral about it. And sure, we're taking a life, but there's a good way and a bad way to do that. I'd prefer to stay on the up and up. And we got the mushrooms starting to come back out again. Looks like these are those white brittle gills that we were finding all over the place in the spring. Bears seem to really enjoy them. And I don't know, I'm probably 30 feet away, but you can see how big these guys are getting. I mean, it's a big ass mushroom. Seem to give a shit. That one was just like 2 feet from me. It's almost like it came up to say hi. I feel like I'm a Disney princess. Yeah, there's dozens of them. I'm not sure what they are. They're just fluttering all around right here. I imagine they don't experience a lot of perdition, because they legitimately don't seem to give a shit that I'm here. Just flying around, pecking at the bark. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of birds out today. None of them are the ones I'm looking for, but still, there's a lot of birds out today. Can you hear flickers pecking on the trees? I can hear crows, ravens out there cawing and cawking. So, I don't know, something's squawking up here on the road. Not sure what it is, but I'm coming up on the water source. It's just like 500 yards up away. So it makes sense that it would get a little noisier towards the water. So that's where everything's going. But it's nice out today. It's just before the snows. It's gonna start snowing here soon. A few years ago I was out here week of Thanksgiving and there was already snow on the ground. I'm surprised there's not yet. You hear a crow cawing off in the distance. I love those guys, they're so funny. Well, I gotta say, Bathtub Springs is pretty accurately named. Just got this old trough here, a little trickle coming down in it. And there's some questionable looking water in there, but it looks like it flows. And in the spring it flows all the way down this hill, all the way back down to Morgan's Hole. But haven't seen much. A lot of little birds, but no real sign. Some good game trails. A suspicious looking stump over here. I think I might have to go check it out. It was peculiarly white. Kind of looked like a poorly camouflaged stash spot. So, I don't know. We'll go take a look and see what it is. So I'm a dumbass. It's not a stump. It's like a tub. But from up here, it looked like an old white stump. And then I noticed that it had like these very suspicious concentric rings on it. And then on second look, I noticed the bottom of it and trash around it. And then I noticed this old tub spring over here. And it dawned on me, that's not a stump, that's more like a garbage can. I don't need to go check that out. I've seen garbage cans before. We're good. I'm seeing a ton of these white brittle gills. They're an edible mushroom, but apparently they taste like shit, so that's not something I'm really interested in. But the bears love them. You walk around this country and you'll find all sorts of spots where there's, head-sized mushroom that have been dug up and half-eaten. Bear tracks all over the place. And, you can see these dark spots here where they've been dug up. Let's see a few more spots up here. There's another spot over here. The bears can't get enough of them, but they're pretty indiscriminate. They'll eat anything that doesn't scare them, and not a whole lot does that. So I don't know. It's a good sign. Mushrooms like this are more or less a detritivore. They consume dead things. They help, recycle the dead pine needles and all that good stuff. And it really helps put nutrients back in the soil. Let's see. They just kind of pop up out of the ground like that. And they'll just munch on them as they walk along. It looks like this is a half-assed game trail here. But if you sat here long enough, you'd find what we're looking for. But like this spot here, you can see it's been disturbed. And you can see a new fruiting body here. It's probably coming up again after the bears got to the bigger ones. But it's a plentiful food source for them. They are all over the place. Right there. This guy here is not a small mushroom. It's pretty sizable. I've got these well-developed gills that go around. They just push up right out of the bottom, right out of the floor of the forest. But, when you're looking to harvest an animal, it's important to find what they eat. Because that's where they're going to be. They gotta have food, they gotta have water, they gotta have shelter. Most of the forest counts as shelter. We're in Oregon, so there's a lot of water, even out this way. But the food, you find what they like to munch on, and you got them. This is where Rostas Creek flows down off the mountain. I think we'll just follow this right back to Morgan's Hole. Come back the way we came, but this goes straight to it. So I'm gonna get down here and see what that squirrel was screaming at. Almost looks like this is an old road. It might not be, but it's suspiciously well graded. You can see it pretty good right here. This kind of thing here isn't very typical for the natural forest. But this whole area was logged and developed by the CCC way back in the day as part of Roosevelt's effort to end the Great Depression. He basically just sent underemployed and unemployed young men out into the Northwest's wilderness to chop down trees, build little campsites, and build roads. And it worked, you know. He alleviated a lot of the economic hardship that was being experienced during that time. Some of the results are questionable, obviously. He's considered to be a great president, but he also created concentration camps. He cut down a bunch of old growth and made headway into destroying untouched wilderness. So, you know, but hey, money. So I don't know. But compared to some of the shitbags we've had recently, I'd say it wasn't so bad, you know? But out here in this part of the country, we still have a lot of remnants of his projects. Like Anthony Lakes, for example, Timberline Lodge, you know, unfortunately Cow Hollow. I need to make a more extensive video on that, but as part of his internment campaign, he rounded up all of our Japanese citizens and put them in concentration camps. And as part of the Oregon Project, he instituted a forced labor policy that sent many of them to agricultural areas like Malheur County to do forced labor. And Cow Hollow kind of sticks out amongst that class in that it was known as the camp without fence, or the camp without walls. Because Malheur County is so isolated and so desolate, there was really nowhere for these people to run to. So they didn't need to put up walls to keep them in, because they had nowhere to go, which is both brilliant and diabolical. And deepest sympathies and apologies to our Japanese siblings that had happened to your progenitors, and we never really made it right. So hopefully someday we can make up for that, but that'll be another video. I need to dust off the drone and go out there and get some good footage and do some research and put the whole story together, because it's some shit. Some dark forest here. This kind of looks like a reprod, where they come through and they log and they replant. Plant a bunch of the same shit in the same spot and it all overgrows. I think we're getting down close to Morgan's Hole. Should be popping out here soonish. I don't know. kind of wet out here. Definitely gonna have to bring some gloves when I come out next week. My fingers are getting cold. But, you know, it's easy enough to warm up. But it's easier still to come prepared. So I killed my battery about halfway down the hill. Hopefully we got some good footage. Saw some sign. There was some bear shit laying around. A lot of Tweety birds. I don't know, some decent game trail. Dug up mushrooms, such. But I think we're gonna have to call it a day. It's about time to get home and get myself prepared for work tomorrow. And yeah, we'll come back out here in 3 days, 4 days, and see if we can get an elk. So hopefully we have better luck. Thanks for coming along, and we hope you join us next time.